Hello, welcome to Tony's Bonsai. Today I'm going to repot this bird cherry. This tree was collected in spring 21, allowed to grow for a year, and then last spring or summer I did a major chop on this. All these branches developed through the course of last year. It's growing really healthily, but it weighs an absolute ton. I'm sure this is full of limestone. So I need to get it out of this pot, and hopefully I've got some nice roots. Regular viewers should know the script by now. I mean, this is seriously heavy. There's no way that's just soil. How do I get it out of this? Flipping heck. Oh, there she comes. Yeah, there's a load of stones in the bottom. There we go. Whoa, that's safe. And then I've got all these here. Masses of them. First thing to do is just rip off some of these surface weeds and then get to work on just getting some of these stones out here. I should be able to take a fair bit of this base out just to make it a bit lighter and easier for me to handle. And this is planted in, looks like garden soil to me. You can see the soil we have around here, it is quite clayey. You can see this here, that's almost pure clay. You could basically make a pot out of that. That being said, the tree seems to have done okay. It grew nice and healthily last year, and it seems to have quite a decent set of fairly fine roots. There's a bit of a stick there. I don't know if that's a dead root or could just be a piece of wood in the soil. And my next job here is to just pull away this surface soil and take a look at the nabari and see what I've got to work with. This is always quite exciting, I think, when you get to this stage and you start to dig around and have a look. And although I did collect this tree, I've got no idea what the root base is like. I didn't really understand the principle of root flare, nabari, 2 years ago when I collected this tree. So it'll be interesting to see what I've got and if I've got anything decent to work with, or whether I need to almost start again and try to create a root base from scratch. And in she goes. I would tend to say I'm pretty happy with this root base. This is a very thick root, but it comes down at a nice angle. There are a few roots that are pointing upwards, so I will remove those. Any roots coming directly up can go. See, I've got another one there. And the reason these are coming up is because I planted it a bit deep in the pot, but initially I was just focusing on the health and survival of the tree, so you know, I don't mind using that technique when I first collect a tree. This root here is a little high, but that can easily be bent down there to create really quite a nice base. It's a bit bare around this side, but there are roots, but this side is nice. So how does that work in terms of the orientation of the tree, I think that works quite well. There is just one kind of ugly root really that comes down here and then splits. It's not too bad, but it stops the root base being flat. So I'll remove that. That allows it to sit a lot flatter, like that. Yeah, that's much better. I'm guessing this looks like a good size for... Yeah, it's just a little bit tight. So... Oh no. Oh, it fits in there lovely. Really happy with that, that's great. Now I need to decide on the potting angle of this. It was initially leaning in that direction. That's why these branches are going upwards. And I do quite like that. So I suppose it's time to kind of begin to maybe think about a front for this tree. And just because it was leaning previously doesn't mean it has to be a leaning tree. Now that I've found this really quite nice root base, I don't think I'm going to be able to lean it in that direction because these roots are going to be too high. So I think this root base has to sit relatively flat, and this will become more of an upright tree, which is absolutely fine. The tree's kind of holding itself in position there. I will add a little bit of soil below it, but not much. Put that in at the angle that I like, which is about there, and just fill. I've run out of bonsai soil there, so I'm going to have to mix a little bit more, but I won't bore you with that. What I will definitely do is chopstick this quite hard, because I really need to get this soil down into all those gaps. So I'll make sure the underneath under here is filled like that. Really pleased with that. It's much more manageable now. I couldn't really move it about before, it was so heavy. So this can now be manoeuvred in and out my videos. I'll do some pruning on this later in the year. I definitely won't prune it now. I want this to explode with growth, put out lots of new fine roots down in the soil, and I think it's got some potential. As always, thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.